gonna be a semi-short one this time. This is gonna be part 2 of our brake system. Finish up the brakes in the rear, and where we left off was figuring out the sway bar. I just got it in on order, and hopefully this one will fit. So we'll start there and button that up, and then move on to the back and go from there. So here we go. All right, what we got here is an 886 Corolla sway bar. Thanks you guys in the comments. You guys kind of wrote everything out for me and told me kind of what I needed. I found the best one to get was the Cusco one. There's not many of these around, so I kind of grabbed it as fast as I could. The difference between the white line one and the Cusco one is this. The end links are more like a factory style, opposed to the white lines one being pinched. It's like a fin with a bunch of holes in it. Hopefully it'll just bolt right in and we'll have no issues. The difference is, let me just put it side by side here, show you. So as you can tell, it just goes straight across, which would be here straight across. So I'm hopefully we have enough room, or more than enough room, to clear. This one's a little thicker, but we're talking probably millimeters. I don't know, it does look a little thicker, but I don't think it's really gonna matter for me. This isn't a race car, so let's see if it fits. All right, so that sucked. I put the sway bar in upside down, so it was hitting everywhere, but no problem, just had to do everything all over again, no big deal. It looked like it was on its way, but it wasn't. Well, let's see what's up. Last time I did this, I had the jack underneath. I should probably do that now, but I'm gonna struggle. So here, let's go ahead. Move these out of the way. Okay. Let's see what's up. All right, let me show you what's going on here, guys. You might have an issue, maybe not. That's where it's going to sit. Now, these holes here, I wanted to utilize the last one so I can have, the most clearance for my wheels. But I don't think we're going to do that. As you can tell, I'm kind of close here. Now, we might be able to use this one, but I think we're just going to go to this one and kind of play it safe, Let's go out with it and see. Yeah, it looks like this is the one we're going to be using. I think that's gonna do it. Let's go over to the other side and take a look. I think we're gonna have to do the same thing over there, but. All right, so we'll put that one on the same spot. Probably about, I think it was this one. I did notice that the sway bar end links, they have like an adjustment on them. I don't know if you can see, but so you can like put this kind of anywhere you want. So let's go ahead and mount this here, and then we'll see where we're going to adjust this if we're going to have issues here, because it's pretty close right now. All right, guys, let me show you what's going on here. Our fan kicked on, so you're gonna have to listen to that. Well, sorry about that. All right, everything's bolted in, as you can tell, for the most part. The only thing that's not is our sway bar and link here. Tension rod will go in fine, because your lower control arm, you can kind of twist and manipulate to line up, and everything will bolt in fine. But when you do that, it will twist this also towards us. It's out of whack, meaning that this guy will not fit in at all. This is an issue that I had on the list and I was gonna do. I looked into it a little bit and I totally forgot to follow up with it before doing all of this. The reason why that won't fit in is because we shimmed the engine. I think this is 1.5 inch block, and therefore we need to shim the bracket that went, that holds the sway bar right there and there, and also here and here. So once we do that, this should be able to line up no problem, and also our front tension rod should sit level with the frame. As you can tell, like, it's kind of out of whack here. So I don't have any material right now to make those blocks, so when I get some, I'll finish that up. I'll show you guys what I did. Fairly simple. Let's go over to the engine and see what we got. More than enough clearance. Everything fits nice. Clears here, so everything is good. All right, so we just have to finish those up. I hate leaving things kind of incomplete, but we have to do that now. So let's move on to the back, and I'll show you what we got here. All right, here's our kit. So you got your caliper, and then some brake pads as well. So those. Here's your rotor, which is not as fancy as the front ones, but it's still dimpled and slotted. So there's that. This is the bracket for your caliper. And this, again, is self-explanatory. It's all labeled up, forward, tells you the torque specs. Some bolts for that. Some other bolts for the axle. And then some shims here for the axle as well. They go inside here. And this is a hub-centric ring for the rotor here. Fits on like that. Kind of, I don't know, takes up the slack. This is our emergency brake cable. I've heard these not being the right length. I'm hoping that mine is, but we'll give it a shot and see before we jump to any conclusions there. Let's go put this in. We're gonna need this, and this. All right, guys, I already did the other side. This one has been messed with. I can tell this is cut. The other side is not like that, and it's seized. So it ain't going anywhere. I'm gonna put a hammer on it. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna throw some bolts in there, and then we'll ease it out. I think that's probably the better way to do it, but let me see. I might be able to just kind of like break things loose first. Moving. Oh, got it. I think the e-brake was just kind of stuck, I think. Because if it were seized, that thing would never come off of there. Okay. I absolutely hate these things. Doesn't want to work. Nothing works. Oh, that worked. So the spring was so brittle, she broke. These guys will take out. Here. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this 10 mil brake line off here. Sometimes these are a pain in the ass, but I did the other one, so this one should be pretty easy. I think these were off already. If not, what works well is a strategically placed, what is it, vice grip and just clamp it once real tight and just break it loose. That way you're not like smushing everything or trying to wrench on it. That works well, but I got lucky here. Take this guy off too. I can pull everything back and out. I'm gonna kind of just bend them up and kind of leave it like that for now. So here's your axle bolts. There's 4 of them here. I'm just gonna grab onto these guys and kind of take them out. Sometimes these are stuck, sometimes they're not. Let's see what we got. These ones should be okay. Oh, we got lucky. This one's stripped out. So, we got pretty lucky here. All right, let's go underneath, disconnect our emergency brake cable, and pull everything off. Here's a little like plasticky rubber grommet here, right here. So we gotta kind of pry that out. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but let's see if it works. This is a real pain in the ass actually. Just kind of work at it. It's kind of, you could probably just cut these. You're never gonna use them again, but for the sake of saving shit forever and never using it. Pull this jammy out. And then this kind of pops out. All right, now that that's out of the way, what we're gonna do now is pull our axle right out. So I already kind of sprayed some PB Blaster on the bearing to try to break things loose, but it technically will come out pretty easy. The other side did. So if you're gonna hit this thing, you don't wanna be hitting it here. Just hit the back of, it'll come out really easy. Tell it's going already. There it goes. So just be careful when you slide it out. This guy up. Should fit right in that. Kind of clean everything up before you put it back in. So you can read on it, kind of tells you what's going on, and it's going to sit just like that towards the front as it's marked. Now, you want to take these guys and they kind of go in between because there's a bearing there that sticks out a little bit. And what you're doing is trying to fill the gap up in there. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but these are kind of tricky to do. The bottom one's fairly easy, but the top one is kind of a pain. But let's grab a little screwdriver and see if we can wedge them in there. So this plate here, it only goes on one way. Sometimes you can have it flipped and you won't be able to get the bolts through. This one is the right way. Let's see. Kind of hold everything together. There's little access holes here. Makes things kind of nice. And sometimes they'll spin on the back, which I noticed the bolts are kind of small. Like these are relief, they have like little relief cuts in them, as you saw, but sometimes they didn't need to have that done. Like you'll see this one will probably spin too. No, it's good. So here's our rotor. I'll show you guys when I put this thing on. There's kind of a gap here, you know. So that brings us to our O-ring here, and that's gonna fit right on here. Fill the gap, but these are not just put on, they're pressed on. So you just kind of get it started a little bit, and you can kind of tap it in until it gets flush there. And then what I did is just take like a piece of copper if you got, or maybe a piece of wood would work. Just kind of work around it. There you go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put our caliper on, and we'll be done. These are pads. And again, with these guys, I kind of like rubbing these together to kind of get off all the, if you can see it, there's like a weird finish on it. I'll do that over the garbage real quick. We'll never see easier. Okay, try to keep these things spread apart when you're going to put them on, because you'll notice that there's little springs here, you know, that kind of keep the pad in line, I guess. So if they do fall together, you'll have to like spread one little guy apart, and it's kind of a pain. It's just tedious. So put this guy on. So here's our emergency brake cable. It's kind of self-explanatory. Check this thing up real quick, and then we'll go underneath. You do need to loosen your cable all the way from inside the cabin. That way we can like kind of shift and manipulate things a little better. It's pretty simple. We use the same little brackets. You know, they kind of just wedge in here, and the bolt will like push it up. Put our little booties on. I can get them on. Wow, these are a pain in the ass. All right, good. All right, guys, here's our rear sway bar. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in. You can tell it's super old because this wrap has probably been on here forever. So I think this is from Toyo Head. Came with the car when I got it, but it's time now to put it in. Okay, so I sort of laid everything out here to kind of see what we're working with. We're going to assemble the end links first on to our sway bar and our bracket here. Much easier doing it this way than underneath the vehicle. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So first things first, kind of figure out, there's instructions that come with it, but kind of figure out what goes where. We're going to be working with this guy first. So I want to go in from the top of this, sandwich these together. This guy too, and then 2 washers here, and one here. Just kind of leave everything loose so then you can like kind of manipulate it. Do the same on the other side. Now we'll go under the car, and I'll show you what's kind of going on under there. All right, we're just gonna kind of eyeball on where these are gonna go. Looks like they're gonna be right around here. So let's put these in real quick. Show you how they go. This will go up here. Let's get these bolts started first. This is kind of a juggling act. There's a lot of parts that are held together with like one bolt, so things are slipping out. But we'll get everything situated in a second here. Tighten this up a little bit. This may be a little hard to see here, but what I did is I kind of just twisted our assembly here to kind of be in line with this guy. I think this is the rear trailing arm. So just kind of make everything in line until you can find out what works best for you. You know, this way obviously doesn't work. This way's a little better. There's a hole right there I think we're gonna use. This is threaded. I think this is the one we're gonna open up and we're gonna make another one here. I think that's correct. I can't really see too good on there. Yeah, that's it. Just this has got to be moved back a little more. Like that. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to open that one real quick. And then I'll come on and I'll do a little dot here and we'll make it work. Now you're gonna take your little U thingamajiggy here and put a little guy on it so we don't lose it. Stick it in here. This way is easier. There we go. And now you just gotta be careful because you don't want to lose this thing in the frame. Put one on here. There it is. I'll go over to the other side. I'll do the same thing. So I don't know if you can see, this is kind of off center here, so now that we have our position for these, we'll go ahead and bolt these in, and then we can like reposition our stuff that we did earlier. I don't know if we'll be able to reach this. Let me see. Got a little swivel here. Nope. Take this stuff off. Okay. Now we can kind of play around with our positioning. Everything, you try to get these lined up nice. These are both at a little bit of an angle, but they seem to be the same. So let's see. There's nothing really you can do. Just tighten them up. Let's see what we got, but these are good. Maybe we should do these first. These seem to be in the right spot. Maybe I'll get another cap for that, a little different. The other side came out pretty good, but this is not. It'll hold, but I don't know, it just looks kind of crappy. Not too bad of an install, it's pretty straightforward. Just have to sort of wiggle things around, I guess we'll call it, to get everything to fit right. These are kind of like a universal type fit. I mean, you're drilling holes into the frame in order to get it to work. It's not like a factory upgrade sort of thing. So, you know, there's a lot of room to screw around. You know, I could have put these holes somewhere else. You could rock this thing a little more forward, backwards, you know, whatever. But I figured to run it in line with these, you know, the angle of them. So. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. A little longer than I thought, but I think we're in a good spot. And next up, we're gonna do our brake lines, our brake booster, and our clutch. I think it's the clutch master or clutch slave. Oh, on both of them. So that's it. Stay tuned and see you next time.